All right, next on the call, we got my main man, Luke Wilborn. Very excited about having him on here. He's become a live transfer Jedi, as well as building a team. So Luke's been with Family First Life about a year now, and recently with the addition of live transfers, virtual sales, tele, Zoom, all the things that Family First Life does well, Luke has run away with it through working through live transfer leads. And we're excited to have him on here. One, because he's not only a tremendous person, now leading agency manager and producer, but he's an all-around good guy who can really relate as a father, husband, and someone who a lot of us maybe have experienced struggles with as we try to get our business off the ground. And his story is unlike many of ours, but his choices through time have just allowed him to put in a position where he's starting to succeed now. And I'm excited to have him come on here and tell his story and share all that. So how you doing today, buddy?
Good, man. I'm a little worried my text chimes are going to be bouncing off this thing. See?
Should turn them off. Or
you
tell
don't
people
you don't need to be perfect to do this business. How about that?
That's good. All right. Well, I love it if you tell your background, buddy. Background, a little bit about you so people can kind of, get to know you for a little bit.
Yeah. Well, thanks for letting me get on here, man. I've been wanting to earn this, and this kind of just fell in my lap like a packaged gift from above, man. So I'm thrilled. Honestly, though, Grady, thank you for you. I'm so happy to be here. This opportunity came in the form of a miracle to me. God moves in our lives, and it doesn't always show up from a dove, right? With buckets of money from heaven, right? Your miracles come through other people. And I totally was in a bad spot. I was living in Georgia at the time when this crazy thing called COVID hit, and I had my license, but I wasn't leaning on it fully. I was in another thing, a little part-time thing, making a couple grand a month here and there. And I was in like the event business. So that got hit square between the eyes with events. And the company I was working with, no hard feelings. I mean, how could anyone see what was coming? Small company. They sent me the unemployment link for California. And I clicked on it and I said, no way, hell no. I have my license. Someone's making money, and like a good marketer and a good friend, Grady came to mind. I'm like, I'm going to call Grady. And I called him and I grilled him. I said, look, dude, I'm like 2 months away from a bad situation financially. I had commissions and things all stuck in this portal called might happen, and so I needed something real. And I said, are you really can I come here? And can I, in the next 4 or 5 weeks, 6 weeks, figure it out? He's like, absolutely. So we're working with my buddy, Brad too. So shout out to Brad and Grady taking my in-homes. I remember my first sale. I couldn't believe they got approved, first of all. Americo Eagle. I'm like, who would take this bet? You know what I mean? And they're approved. And I'm like, Grady, I didn't get paid. And he's like, what do you mean? They were approved, right? And I'm looking in there. I call Americo. They're like, we don't even have these people. I never hit submit. It was sitting in my back office thing for like 5 days, almost timed out. And it's just funny because you're the new person. You kind of suck, but you have the fire to go win for your family. So it's been a process. I have 3 kids. So when I'm in the field or if I'm selling online or whatever I'm doing, I just picture my family swiping the debit card, and I'm like putting money back in all the time. So these live transfers have allowed me to get a bigger bucket and I'm outpowering them. So it's been good. It's been good, but just not a victim, guys, and just going out there and trying to do my best for the family. And I'll admit, I was kind of in a desperate spot when I saw this, but I love this because I'm 34 now, getting wise, and I want to begin with the end in mind. Whenever I get an opportunity, I want to get in something that has the crazy big potential, right? That has the scalability, because I've built large teams before, not in insurance. We had a lot of juice and a lot of energy drinks, and we had a great time. That's actually where I met Grady. But I know that if you can get 100, 200, 300 people moving in the same direction, extremely powerful.
That's so true, man. It's so true. I think that's what's so great about FFL and the model that Sean set up is the fact that we can make so much money and never have to, protecting families that requested it with our high comp and all the carriers, and never have to talk to a friend about it. Like, right. And then I waited like 6 months before I recruited my first person. Not advisable, but I was in, you come from the area of having to recruit the proactive girl at the mall and the Chili's server. And then the video.
You were probably just sick of it.
Yeah, you're sick. You're tired of trying to just convince people that what they're doing isn't as good while you're jumping from thing to thing to thing. And that you can come here and make the kind of money we can from just producing, but then still have this other opportunity to go, hey, I'm gotten pretty good at selling this insurance stuff. Hey, Luke, maybe you could be good at it too. Take care of Shawnee and the kids, and then fast forward a year and life's getting better. And I think that's what's so great about what FFL is it's an all-encompassing opportunity from whatever bucket or world you want to live in, from a high production or high recruiting or both, and put them together and grow something significant here. The upside's tremendous.
Yeah. And it's just an opportunity to take we're all, it's a hard pill to swallow, but we are in our positions because of past decisions, right? For the most part. You can blame things and you can go down that road as far as you want, but winners never do, right? Leaders always take responsibility. And so I like to say that life experience will bring you to FFL because you're so sick of not being in control, being the man, getting fired. As soon as something good is going on, it gets pulled from you or whatever. So life experience will bring you here. I think wisdom will keep you here because you start learning more. And it's like, I posted a meme the other day in our little group chat. It's like, I feel like it's the OxyClean commercial, but wait, there's more, It's like every month, the VP bonus and the producer bonuses. And now there's companies that weren't bonusable before, they're bonusable, and live transfers. And I'm like, I was good a year ago when we were dialing Facebook leads and none of those other companies were bonusable. And I didn't have a team. Like, this was still an amazing chassis.
Yeah. I think it's integrity factor, right? We've got a bigger parent company now with a bunch of money who can go, hey, this company, Family First Life's doing really good. We should see how we can incentivize them more to keep doing what they're really good. And I think that's where almost parallels to what what I'd love for you to kind of transition into, or wherever we get there. It was on a call with Andrew recently, and he said as a company, we were very resistant to the virtual platform, right? From Tele, Zoom, live transfer, only because our fear of persistency and our fear of putting people in a position of something we didn't know that well. We couldn't control it. We know you show up to the door, get at the kitchen table, you're 95% probably going to sell something or put coverage at some sort in place. Yeah. We know every nuance. There's 20,000 videos on in-home sales training if you search Family First Life on YouTube, and we're the best in the industry at it. Yep. Well, how are you the best, Grady? Well, we sell the most, we sell the most, and we have the most top producers. So yes, by proxy, we're the best. So just for everyone that thinks they've got better producers or better training, just go, check the record books. So, but then you take that mentality of just ferocious desire to produce at a high level, not taking excuses and pushing through all sort of objections that you've learned in the home, apply that to a virtual platform, and mindset's the same. We're going to get something in place, Bob and Betty. You don't understand. We're going to put something in place. And so I think for you took a lot of time in the field. So I love you talk about that sort of transition. And, you've done thousands of in-home presentations, and now you're transitioning and adding on live transfers and virtual. How's that going for you?
Well, good. It was my kid's idea. They're like, Dad, how can you just stay home all the time so we can just have you wait on us hand and foot? And I'm like, let me figure this out. Warm bottles, cold bottles, PBs, and PBJs. I'm yelling at them. I'm like, I got a live call. Shut up. No, I'm kind of doing that, if you know what I'm talking about. But it's been fun. I might remember on Full House, they had the light and they're like, shut up, we're on air. I'm going to put a bulb like right there, so they know it's like Dad's making money. But the transition's been good, and I tell people this business it's only as good as your commitment to it and your lead flow. Okay, now a flow is something that flows, not stops and starts And when I've struggled, it's because 2 months earlier or a month earlier, I got off the throttle, right? And I struggle, just it's like an AA meeting, right? I struggle with consistency, right? With where I'm gonna be, telling my little kids' little faces that I have to work. I'm a sucker for that. I like going to have fun with my family and whatever, right? But I'm telling you, and I heard it from Gage, my buddy Gage Peart, he told me, he's like, you need to automate your leads. And it's everything, right? And so I've done well. I've gone on this journey of people are like, these leads suck. These leads are great. You know, you have your micro opinions when you're new about something and you haven't ran enough data to really know, right? You buy $100 worth of leads and those don't work. Okay, you didn't give it enough oxygen. You didn't, it's a weird thing, right? Whether you're in home or on the phone, you need to run enough to give it a chance. And it's like, the more leads you have, the less risky the business actually is. Because everyone's like, how does it work? Well, if you have, Grady, you've been on the field now a year. I don't feel bad for you, or a year and a half or whatever, right? But you can still get on the phone, right? But you get the most talented producers, and if they have 33-month-old leads, I don't know if they're going to sell anything. You got to give it a chance, right? And with the inbounds, it's like going to the batting cages and you're just lined up, ready for another presentation, another presentation, another presentation. It's unreal. I can go in there and put $1 in, take some balls, right? And it's like, I can control when and how many hits I want in a day from the convenience of my home. I have been wearing slippers all week. I haven't put gel in my hair in about a week and a half. I'll be honest. I have been like, I look like Castaway before this call. I got a little cleaned up, and it's just been testament to staying at home, taking these calls, and just learning that process. And it's in the fair warning here, guys. If you're brand new, you're gonna have to
give a good warning. Give a good warning, because you're a vet, if you will. A year somewhere else, you're here. So like, you're brand new. Yeah. Give that warning, just so we set people up for success.
There's pros and cons to both. Okay, so when you're brand new and you're in the home, they can't hang up on you. It's awkward. You're sweating and you don't hit submit on the app, and you like the first time in that same home, I had Transamerica, and I started filling out a fully underwritten whole life app. And that wasn't even what I was supposed to be doing. So I had to delete that. It's like 3 hours later. You can't do that on the phone, right? So when you're in the home, you have the good grace of nice people to not hang up on you because you're in their home, right? And you figure it out. You can call your people and Sales Genie and all that. When you're on the phone, you got to be flowing, right? And here's something I pulled a lot from, shout out to Oscar Contreras. I just shadowed him this last weekend and then wrote 18K after. So thank you, Oscar. So here's a tidbit, write this down. Stay rich in relationships. So when you're on the phone, Grady, and you don't know what to do, and you hit a wall and your stuff's locked out and pipeline's frozen, you can just say, I'm going to call you back. I'm going to shop this for you. I'm going to talk to my board of team experts, and you can get back to them. These are great leads. The intent is very high, and they appreciate you being a professional and respecting their time. And so if you're sitting there like in the doldrums for 20 minutes, just call them back. So that's a pro if you are going to pay the price on the phone here and learn.
That's good. So what else? Give us some more. What is your process though? So ring. Hey, Luke, this is Betty calling from the lead department over at Leads and More. I've got John on the phone. Like, how does that go? Walk us through for those that don't even know what a live transfer is. Because this is very new to a lot of people. I'm a 2-week vet, on a 2-week expert now on live transfers. Now I talk about those, and I mean, I've also I still have people that knocked out $26,000 this week on mortgage. And I got people that knocked out 19,000 this week on final expense. And I got people that knocked out 16,000 this week on Facebook that have been with Family First Life for under 2 months, right? So that and everything works, guys. So we're just talking about a lead type right now that Luke, the peanut butter and jelly specialist, has found success in. And he's trying to ward off Shawnee's debit card swiping, but so give us the live transfer breakdown from call to close. What's your process? What are some of the word tracks that you use that you find success in?
So shadowing Oscar, I realized that, in the home, you want to be a pro. You want to be relatable. You want to guide them. It's like talking to your grandma, right? Like respectful, but you're also like not there to waste time. Like you're like, hey, Granny, let me help you move the dresser. And and I'm like, we're doing certain things or else you're there all day, right? And it's the same thing on the phone. It's just, I answer the phone. It's like, so hi, it's a little tone. And then it goes, hi, this is Joe from such and such vendor. We have a live transfer named Susan. Let me know when you're ready. And you sit down and you shake it off and you get your computer open and they send you an email at the same time. So you have a lot of their generic, or not generic, but their surface level information. And you open it and you go, I'm ready. And then you're connected. And I'm just like, hey, my name's Luke. I'm your health and life specialist. I'm licensed in X amount of states. And I help dozens of families each week take care of this and figure this out, this thing called protecting your family. So most people that call in are looking to make sure that they're not a burden to anyone around them that they love. That's what you're looking for, correct? And they go, yeah, exactly. And I go, great. I go, I have 20, and I kind of give the commercial. And these are all little nuggets, guys, from running in homes and listening to dialing scripts. And like, I just kind of just made it a thing that I do. So after I kind of tell them who I am, and after I tell them how I kind of get into it and who I am, I kind of lead into, I have about 20 different carriers. Inside those carriers, I have 3 or 4 programs each. I'm going to do the shopping for you so you don't have to worry about any of that. And then I proceed to, have you gotten any quotes yet? I don't want to waste your time and show you the same thing twice. Okay. And that tells me a ton, because they're like, I had a guy yesterday, he knew his stuff, like really knew it. Like he knew graded, he knew all these different terms, living benefits, terminal illness. He's like, I've heard of that. So, and he paid me a nice compliment. He said, I'll tell you, man, you're the most helpful person I've ever talked to. And this guy was shopping. And I feel like I was like that before, but I pulled a lot of that from Oscar. When I watched Oscar, he had these little micro stories and micro value builders inside of his presentation. So you guys should be using phrases. Did you know? This is how this works. Do you know the difference between, has anyone ever told you the difference between term and whole life, right? So it's just kind of like building value, educating them. And the whole time, like, this guy's my man, right? I can trust this guy to take care of this for me. And simultaneously, I send them my license, like my driver's license, through text. I'm not like the guy who has a website, all these rad systems set up. So if you want that guy, talk to someone else. I'm just kind of like rolling this thing. And I think it's really big to be genuine, because, you know, you think about communication, it's body language, it's all those things. But when you're on the phone, it's just tone. And and old people, or whoever their age is, they're not dumb. Okay, they know if you're just trying to like money grab it, give them some generic stuff. And I've had a lot of, like, at the end of the calls, thank you, and the wife's in the kitchen, thank you, you know, in the background, and they're like happy, and it's just another thing that they got off their plate. Like when you guys have kids and stuff, people worry about this stuff. They don't want to, but they don't know where to go. It's like, who can I trust? Like, if you really knew if you really knew the pro that wasn't going to waste your time, wasn't going to waste your money, take my money, take it. Like if you had that confidence that that person was going to help you, it's done.
That's awesome. That was very helpful, Luke. There's a line that Oscar taught you. You told to me, and I want you to say it. But what my goal today is You told me that. What's that
Yeah.
line?
So I thought this was really nice, and it's a great opening. And it's kind of like, my goal here today is to do so well for you that you have no problem referring me to the people you love, your friends and family. Okay, I'm your person for life, and I'm here for you whenever you need, right? And it's just like that. Whoa, like this guy is not, I'm not some number to this person. Like this guy cares, and he's going to take care of me. And starting the call like that, I think sets a tone that you're different.
I think that's excellent. That's awesome. Which a lot of that you've learned from time in the field, time listening on calls, time in training, time saying saying alternate lines that didn't garner a sale. They go, I'm not going to crack that death joke that I cracked last time. Like, or what? No, I'm not going to, get this taken care of.
How much time here?
now I see you're 60.
I get it. So there's a lead type that you can get, and it's called substandard. And all that means is they could be unhealthy or they're over 80, right? And I just crack up to myself because these people call and I can't help them because they're 92. And I'm like, I can't help you, but I'm just thinking you are the master procrastinator waiting till you're 92. And I wish I could help you, but these people, you can help most of them. Sometimes you can't, and they wait too long, but it's just, you got to take them as you come. But one last thing before we cut off, I know we're talking a little long here, the bank account.
Okay.
It's like shaking in your boots when you're new, right? How do you get the bank account? And I've only had a few people fight with me, and it was last week when I first started this, and I wasn't doing the little micro stories, and I wasn't telling them a little bit of this and a little bit of that about that. And kind of the sequence, guys, you can do soft closes. Like if you're doing Aetna Ascendo online, it asks for the effective date, like on the first, it's like their name, or it's like their birthday and effective date. So I was like, oh man, how do I, effective date's when it's going to charge your account, right? So I just do little things like, hey, if we land your budget today and you like what you're seeing, when would you like coverage to start? And I'm like in the front, and they're like, oh, right now. And I'm like, sweet, there we go. And then I don't ask for the bank account. I'm just still rolling. I'm adding facts. I get their social. People give their socials out, like no big deal to me, at least. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. I mean, that's more sensitive than your bank account at the end of the day, I think, more trauma for you. But by the time you get to the bank account, if you have not added enough value to them, they won't give it to you. If you don't feel trustworthy and you rush through it maybe, or you're just completely transactional, you're going to have problems with the bank account. That's my nugget of the day, because anyone can take a call. Anyone can kind of go through a little bit of this and quote some stuff. But when it comes push to shove, they have to like you, trust you, and at the end of the day, think you're going to help them out and know that you're going to help them out.
I think there's one thing you jumped over real quick, but people trust people that they feel are educated. And when you said, hey, do you know the difference between whole life and term? And they go, yeah or no. Well, whatever they say, I would still, probably what you do, still say, yeah, so terms is going to end, whole life, whatever. I would love for you to do that part. But that's one of the things that you're kind of getting to, is that you offering additional education and providing more value above and beyond just a quote and just your license number is going to put them in a position where they feel comfortable and confident that you're someone that they can trust. People trust educated people who come across confidently that they can deliver on what I want. Do I confidently believe that you can execute on this project? If I don't, then I'm going to shop around, because you sound like you're hemming and hawing, and you sound like you just don't know everything you need to know. And I want to work with someone who's confident. So how do you do that one component as we close out here?
I mean, it's just about building value around it. Like more specifically, like what's your question?
How do you educate them on the difference in whole life and term? Like just that part. Hey, Betty, do you know the difference?
I don't know who these people talk to before me, right? So by asking that question, hey, I don't want to waste your time, which is building value, and I'm respecting them. They feel respected, which I am. I am. It's not an act. I'm just like, I don't want to show you the same thing twice. What have you seen? And they're like, no, this is my first time, or yeah, I've been shopping like crazy. And I go, okay, what has caused you to wait on purchasing? Too expensive? or like you haven't seen anything that does it for you. I go, yeah, this last guy, man, I just didn't like him. Or they'll just tell you. And I go, okay. So you're looking at term. This is what I would do if I were you. This is what I own. I use like strong things like this is what I own. This is what I would do if you were my mom, you're my grandma. This is what I would do. So it's like most people do these things. It's the social proof when you're checking out on Amazon, other people bought these items. You're like, oh, I need that too, right? So it's like you say all the time, Grady, everyone wants to do what everyone's doing. And so you can use transitional statements like that. If I were you, most of my clients, just little statements like that. But most people that I'm talking to online, it's like the perfect layup for simplicity. They got a little diabetes, they got a little gout going on or whatever, and they just want to make sure that they're not a burden. And when people use, I want to make sure, and my mom died without insurance, I'm going whole life all the time because I go, Susan, in my head, I'm like, there's no way you can get term anyway, but I don't tell them that because then they'll want it, right? Because they have all these ailments. So if you guys are new, people that have unhealthy situations are not getting term typically, right?
Correct.
And so I used to freak out when someone was 55. I'm like, do I go CBO 100 or do I go Eagle? It's like you could go either way. And I'm like, the fate of my decision is in their hands. So like, I don't know what to tell them and all this stuff, right? But it's really just listen to their word tracks. I want to making sure to me, Susan, is that your policy lasts longer than you do, right? If I was a betting man, I would say that, you want to make sure, like you make it out of the term, congratulations, you didn't die, but now you're 75 with no insurance, right? So I'm always kind of like trying to talk people into a real situation, because the last thing you want to do on the phone or in person is show Susan term and she gets declined 3 ways and you have no sale, you didn't help her, and now she goes, it's not for me, and then dies with no insurance.
Yeah.
That weighs
heavy on your shoulders when you
no pressure.
No pressure. The simple rule of thumb that I would always live by and taught is 50 and up whole life, 49 and below term. And one, pricing is going to be better on term 49 and below than 51 or 54 or 55. But two is, if just like you said, we're betting you die in the next 20 years to take advantage of this policy versus just putting something in place that's guaranteed to be there when that day comes.
Yeah, and it explains too that whole life per pound costs a little bit more money, right? Because it's real. It's like, it's going to pay. You pay the $89 a month, it's going to pay your family. You can live and die at an old age.
Yeah.
So they know that. That's why it costs more. Oh, wow. Okay. Sign me up, baby. Let's roll.
Luke, you're awesome. You're rolling. You're on a mission now. You're reinvigorated. I know you've got a team that's starting to rock and roll VP this month. And
people are selling their first live transfers today, batting 50%. So it's nothing. I'm not a superhero. It's working.
Final thoughts, final goals, final challenge, anything you'd send the team off with today?
Oh man. There's a lot of people to save right now. I know we say that a lot, but this is not political, but people not taking certain things right now, getting fired. I mean, the environment right now, if you guys could get out of your own bubble and be unselfish, like really with what you're doing right now, we need to go help people. And people are scared of dying right now. And then also people are dying, right? Always dying, but now it's like the world's upside down right now, it feels like. So a lot of uncertainties, right? And then the second part of that is, unfortunately, we're in one of the worst economical job climates ever, right? And you have these different worlds blending. Technology's up, simplified issue, e-apps, like the lead flow, like you're in the batting cages, right? Just getting hit after hit after hit. Actually looked this up. Job searches, got my little notes on here. Job searches this year, guys, for remote work 460% higher than last year on the internet, just people looking it up.
Wow.
And I don't know how many millions that is or whatever, but I mean, come on, right? It's not that deep to figure out that people right now are really screwed. And so if you can't, every time, this is my little nugget I'll leave you with, every time I got my teeth kicked in, every time I got porched, every time I didn't sail, I'd make $4,000 at home, I would just like internalize it, review it, because I took it in stride because I knew I was going to relate with my future team. I could always bank on, it doesn't matter. I've been there before. How I feel right now doesn't even matter. It's the numbers, leaning into the numbers, being active, and just taking it to the bank that one of my new girls is going to get porched. They're going to spend some money on leads and be a little frustrated. And I'm just like, hey man, I got through it. You can too. So just lead by example as best you can. This is a big pond. There's a lot of people here crushing it. So don't look too much to the left or the right. Just be better than you were last week.
Amen, bro. I think that your entire team is proud of you, and proud to be working with you, proud to be coached by you, as well as all of us on here are grateful for how much you shared. So Luke, it's been a long road, man. And it's fun to be on the road again with you and running up the mountain and seeing what we can accomplish again together. It's an incredible business, incredible opportunity, and you're a fantastic trainer, coach, and producer. And I'm obviously peanut butter and jelly specialist as well. So
anytime you guys can come over, I got you.
Thank you, brother. Drop a LW in the comments below. Smash some stuff. Show Luke some love for all he shared insight. Grateful for you, brother. Cheering you on, and we'll see you soon. Appreciate you all. Have a good day. Talk to you soon now.
Thanks, Grady.
Bye.